Is Cosmic Desktop's alpha ready for daily use? System 76's Cosmic Desktop has been the talk of the Linux world, a brand new, Rust-built, Wayland-native environment promising modern performance and first-class tiling. But it's still alpha. Today I'm putting Cosmic through a real-world daily driver test. Installs, core apps, multitasking, gaming, creative work, and stability. By the end, you'll know whether the alpha is usable for your day-to-day or if you should wait for a more mature release. Quick overview. What Cosmic is. Short version. Cosmic is a fresh desktop environment created by System 76, written in Rust and designed as a Wayland-native compositor with its own apps and a focus on user-friendly tiling and modern UX. It's being delivered in staged alpha releases while the team iterates toward beta stable. First impressions and setup. Installation and first boot are intentionally straightforward if you're using Pop! OS or the official Cosmic images. The installer is familiar to Ubuntu Pop! Users. Cosmic then presents a modern, minimal login with a clean panel, workspace overview, and obvious tiling controls. Out of the box, the UI feels polished. Animations and transitions are snappy thanks to its Rust-iced foundation, but you'll notice some features still marked as early or under active development in the settings. Practical note. If you like testing pre-release software, install on a secondary machine or in a VM. Don't upgrade the installer partition on a mission-critical workstation without backups. Daily Driver Challenge, Core Apps and Stability. I used Cosmic Alpha for real tasks: web browsing, multiple tabs, LibreOffice editing, video playback, and heavy multitasking with developer tools and many terminal windows. In most cases, core apps ran smoothly.
Because Cosmic is Wayland native and supports XWayland for compatibility, legacy X11 apps still run, though you may see occasional window behavior quirks depending on the app. Memory and CPU, moderate. The compositor is fairly efficient, but the alpha still has memory spikes under heavy multitasking. Crashes, freezes. Occasional edge case crashes reported by users, but many testers report stable daily use on recent hardware. Community reports are mixed. Some users run it daily, others recommend waiting until more alphas/bug fixes land. Feature deep dive. Tiling and window management. Cosmic's tiling is one of the headline features. It offers keyboard-centric tiling controls and automatic layouts aimed at being both powerful and approachable. The tiling system was redesigned with usability in mind, and many early users praise its flow and key bindings.
Wayland and compatibility. Cosmic is Wayland native and builds its compositor on modern components. Smith-A is referenced in coverage, providing modern input security and features like fractional scaling. XWayland is available for apps that haven't been ported yet, but some odd corner cases remain in the alpha. Built-in apps. The alpha includes core System 76 apps: Editor, Terminal, File Manager, Early Media Player, Settings, and App Store. They're intentionally minimal to start, and System 76 is iterating feature by feature across alpha releases. Gaming and creative workload test. For light gaming and creative tasks, I tested a handful of titles and basic image video editing workflows. Cosmic supports hybrid NVIDIA configurations and fractional scaling, which is promising for gamers and creators. But driver maturity and per-game compatibility still depend largely on the GPU drivers and the app's Wayland support. Expect good results on well-supported titles, but keep a fallback plan or a secondary environment for gaming sessions that rely on legacy X11 behavior. Real-world bugs and rough edges. This is alpha, so rough edges exist. Some settings are incomplete, accessibility features are actively being improved, System 76 calls this out, and community testers report occasional windowing oddities with certain XWayland apps or unusual hardware combos. The dev team is active and releasing alpha updates frequently. So many problems are being addressed across updates. The verdict. Is Cosmic Alpha ready for daily use? Summary: if you're an early adopter, developer, or enthusiast who enjoys testing and filing issues, Cosmic Alpha is entirely usable as a daily driver for many workflows, especially on modern hardware and if your apps are Wayland friendly. Community posts confirm a number of people running it daily with success. If you rely on a mission-critical workstation, need flawless compatibility with a wide range of legacy apps, or require a completely stable production environment, wait for beta stable. There are still incremental fixes to be made around settings, accessibility, and specific app compatibility. Who should try the alpha today? Developers, Cosmic enthusiasts, System 76 hardware owners who want to help test. Who should wait? Enterprise users, production creatives who can't tolerate intermittent quirks. Practical checklist before you install. Back up your system and data. Test in a VM or secondary machine first. Keep a stable rescue USB ready, your preferred distro. If you have NVIDIA hybrid hardware, verify driver support and test switching between modes. Cosmic is ambitious, modern, and already impressive for an alpha, especially the tiling ergonomics and Wayland-first architecture. It's at the point where curious users can test it and get real value, but those needing rock-solid stability should wait a little longer. If you liked this deep dive, subscribe for follow-ups. I'll retest at beta and stable milestones and cover the biggest fixes and features. Links to the Cosmic Alpha notes and System 76 posts are in the description.